welcome to episode 339 of the Overlook Hour. I'm your host, Clark Little. Along with me, as always, is the man sitting across the table from me. The hair is down and the hat is on. It's Russell John, Fisherman.
That was my name in the chat. I forgot to tell you that.
What?
When we did the live stream.
Russell John, Fisherman?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But you just weren't there to see it. I did it for you.
Why do you continue to pour salt in these wounds?
Hi, everybody. I missed you. This week, I will have a lot of energy. I have a lot of notes, and I haven't thought about the films much. I just finished watching one. It's going to be a hell of a ride.
Also joining us is fresh off her 21st birthday. It's Oksana Valeriana Osach.
Yeah, I'll stick with that. Hi.
Oksana, how are you?
I'm okay. My energy level's not quite at Russell's level, but it doesn't matter.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks so much. And from Atlanta, Georgia, you heard him last week. He bought a house. Let's get a little update on that because we're gonna get a different. Randy. We're not gonna see.
Are you?
I mean, we're gonna get we're gonna get a different location. Randy, I don't know what the internet connection is in Decatur, Georgia. I don't know what we're walking into here.
I think they have a high-speed connection.
I'm sure you've already looked into it.
I haven't actually, but yeah, I'm just waiting until I think the 27th is when it closes. So, but I have a trip back home. Well, not back home. I have a trip to LA and then Boise, like right after it closes. So I probably won't be moving in until like mid-June.
You're going to Los Angeles?
Yeah, for a wedding. I'm not a big
Gross.
wedding guy either, but it'll be fun.
Let me ask you this: do you got a suit?
I have to get something before I go there. Probably.
Are you in the wedding, or are you just
no, just a spectator.
So you got to buy the suit. Do you have a
I'll
suit?
probably buy a nice shirt or something, and yeah,
Randy,
I have a suit
get a
at home.
suit.
In California, I have a suit.
Are you going to wear that suit? Or are you going to treat yourself to a new suit? New house, new suit, new Randy.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going back to Pleasanton before I go to LA, so I will have to buy a new suit.
Russell, when was the last time you wore a suit?
Never.
Never?
I don't think I have.
Never.
Oh, I think I did to my junior prom.
That's not a suit. That's more than likely a tuxedo. If
Probably.
you wore a
Yeah,
suit
no.
to the prom, that's weird.
Like you mentioned, the hair's down, the hat's on. What do you think? How many times have I worn a suit?
I think we'd get you a nice suit.
Where am I going in a suit?
Let me tell you something. We're only going up,
Okay. Yeah.
okay? And the fish don't fry in the kitchen.
Who am I? Fucking Grady Hendrix? I'm going to show up to every interview in a suit?
Grady Hendrix?
He's an author.
I understand. I know who he is, but I didn't know that he shows up to everything
Yeah.
in a suit. Was
Yes.
he Paul F. Tompkins? See, that's a better reference for me.
Nice.
He's committed. Something you never would know.
He always suits it up.
Yeah, all the time.
I appreciate that.
On like if we were to video chat him on this show, he would show up in a suit.
What is he, Jordan Peterson? I don't know. I just assume he always wears suits.
God.
No, Jordan Peele, dude.
Hell
I
yeah.
love how you choose the horror guy, I choose the actor, and then Randy and I choose the comedian, and
Uh-huh.
Randy chooses
The Hood.
the
Because he's in the Klan.
the enemy of the left, Jordan Peterson.
Good job, Randy.
Thanks.
Randy, you fuck with JP, dude.
I do not know.
If he did, he wouldn't say it right
No,
here.
Randy's doing that all carnivore diet like JP.
Randy's scared to talk about listening to Tim Dillon. He's not going to talk about JP.
No, I listen to Timmy D. He's fine.
Yeah. How long did it take, though? Remember
It took a little while.
Yeah.
He was anti-TD, and then he listened. He's like, all right, I like it.
I mean, yeah, you got to be in the mood for an hour's worth of just ranting in a very
Yet you've been doing
Animated
this show for 5 years.
area, you know?
That is true.
Yeah.
Give him time.
He's good at ranting.
You know, sometimes I'll listen to some Tim Dillon rants, and sometimes I'll listen to some Fresh Air with Terry Gross, you know? Need to mix it up.
I haven't done Fresh Air in a very long time.
It's
You
not
know,
bad.
For a show named for a show named Fresh Air, it's pretty stuffy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Stale even. Stale
Ooh.
air?
Yeah,
Okay.
stale air. That's something we say.
Well, I don't know. I'm excited. This week, I'm looking at all the films we're talking about. We have a lot of horror here. If you were reading the description, don't worry. I watched The Sadness, so no spoilers there.
I almost
But,
watched it this morning.
I think Doctor Strange, we should do that at the end so we could just like
You wanna
talk
close?
about everything. Yeah, why not? I'll just warn
Are we
people
gonna
now.
spoil it? Yeah,
Why
we're
not?
gonna spoil Doctor Strange. By the way, are we gonna talk about the thing that we watched on her birthday?
What did we watch?
Pro 4.
Oh yeah, we could. God damn
We
it.
watched a
Feels
lot
like
of stuff.
month ago.
I'm so used to watching a movie like randomly before
Well, see,
we
that's
record.
the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, we limped here to the finish line. Today, we got a whole lot of goodies.
Yeah, dude. How did I forget about The Crow 4?
You know what? I looked into your eyes and I'm like, this is a man who did not remember we watched
I
The Crow 4.
rallied for that movie all fucking week.
You did not shut up about
and
it.
then
You were so excited. One would say that you were maybe in the territory of overselling it,
I thought
including
I was.
yourself.
Yeah.
But I assure you, you delivered.
I know.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it was good. Fuck.
Wish
Yeah,
Randy was there.
yeah, I know. Too bad he moved and bought a house and has a better life now.
Randy, I think that would have been the only way for you to enjoy The Crow 4, I think.
Oh, for sure. And
I've never seen a single crow.
Nor
it
have
doesn't
I.
matter.
I assure you it does not matter.
The humor would have it would have landed. Don't worry.
Especially when we get to Act 3.
Fuck, we got a lot to talk about today. And last week we didn't do an episode because honestly I didn't want to. Yeah, I've been tired and Clark has been yelling at me to stop doing shit. So I was like, fine.
Because I
let's-
worry about your health.
I
Burning the
spent,
candle at two ends.
now, this is the first week
You're
we haven't
melting all
been
over the floor.
I look like a melted
You're
candle
gonna
under the
die.
shirt. The thing is, this is the first week we haven't been like scrambling trying to do any film fest related crap. So you know what I did all week while trying to relax?
Baited.
I came up with a new project to do every day, and I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. We could do this new podcast. We could do that movie." I've been reading scripts, dude. I can't. I want to just keep doing stuff.
Oksana, control him, please.
Hey, she's guilty too, right?
I mean, not as guilty.
Oh
no.
yeah, that's true. But she stays busy. I don't know. I can't be idle. Today I woke up and started throwing away clothes. and I'm
Idle
like,
time is the devil's workshop.
idle hands
666, baby.
lead to the genitals. That's the better quote.
Great
No, it's
film
not.
too.
I believe
No,
it's
it's not.
Aquatine. Hunger Force.
I jerk off when I'm doing 8 other things.
Oh my god, you are the king. I'm glad that the illusion of multitasking has been officially, like, everybody agrees it's just not a thing. Like, I heard the term task switching, which is what you should actually call it,
Yeah.
because you're doing like 8 things poorly, which explains your masturbation record.
My masturbation record.
Like, oh, and
How did you
100.
know the name of my first novel?
Dude, because I read it.
That's some Philip Roth shit right there.
All right.
That's a good joke for maybe one person. If Nick is listening.
They're laughing.
Thank
you. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else we need to cover before this? Birthday weekend was insane. It was very long. On my birthday at the end of the stream, dude, we recorded after that, right? I think I failed to mention I fell asleep on the table, which, I, while trying to get back into posting on social media, I noticed somebody took a picture of me with my phone while I was asleep on the table.
Oh, does it sound like someone I know?
I'm looking at you.
Exactly. it was
Okay,
me.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's weird when you see, it's like, wait a minute, I couldn't have taken that picture.
You do stalkery shit all the time.
Like what?
Take pictures of motherfuckers. all
You
the
mean
time.
like leave love letters under your door?
No, that's one thing.
Watch you from a distance?
To have
with,
the paparazzi phrases
butterfly,
it.
butterflies in my stomach?
I forgot I took that picture.
Yeah, I could feel how mean. I almost posted it.
I always find the worst pictures of myself on my phone when I fall asleep.
Yeah, but
during
you're
things.
taking them. That's not my fault. All right, are we ready? You know what? I totally forgot to get the bingo cards made. When David landed, he was excited about it, but I'm just going to say now, my new favorite David Lynch thing is when he yells treats. So that's going to be my bet.
Treats is good.
We have any political bets? What, coffee? What is today? Today's Saturday, so it will be different. The work train's just showing up.
Mm-hmm. There's going to be treats.
Okay, I'm hoping there's treats.
As we all know, the war is over. So
okay, so no more political.
peace is here.
Okay, no.
We have peace.
no politic. No. Okay, treats. Randy, you got any
Because I've had too much of it today, I'm going to say coffee.
Okay. I mean,
How much
a
is too
given.
much?
Like 2 cups this morning and then an iced coffee when I was coming home on my
confirmed,
walk.
Confirmed. That's too much.
Wow.
What are you doing? Are you trying to bore a hole in your stomach?
No, I ate food. I'm not doing black coffee on an empty stomach. That'll mess you up.
I do
hell
that.
yeah.
I do that every day.
I can't.
How many shits have you taken today?
Like 3.
How many shits have you
Attaboy.
given today?
None.
Okay, good. Oksana, did you have a prediction?
That's right. That top button is not buttoned today, so this is loose, Randy.
Hell yeah.
Take a risk, please. I feel like we're all playing it safe right now.
Epoxy and cakes. I'm gonna stick to cakes. He's gonna bring
Oh,
them up
going
someday.
epoxy.
Oh, and okay.
You're doubling down on this cake bullshit.
Yep.
What a hill to die on.
Dude, we just came out of fucking Cake Town. It's been a damn Cake Town. Talk about an internet video. Oh boy. Do you guys remember that?
No.
It was a dumb 300 spoof where he
What?
said, "This is Cake Town," and kicked the dude into
Was it Cake Boss?
no.
Cake Boss.
All right.
Paul Tompkins.
Hold on. I'm gonna call him in. You sure you're done?
Let's do it.
No other predictions?
Nope.
You know, I feel like we should intro the man. A while back, I used to pull up his IMDb and just read random titles.
That was good.
You want to give him an intro?
Sure. David Lynch.
Okay.
Good morning. It's May 14, 2022, and it's a Saturday. Today is day 1 of the weekend projects,
Here we go.
Mhm.
and I got a message
Oh, shit.
from the railroad crew, from the engineers all the way to the staff that keep the train running every week,
Have they quit?
and they got together and proclaimed,
Oh, no.
what a great group you all are
Aw,
who ride the train each week.
sweet.
And they wanted you all to know how happy they are to ride along with you.
I told you the war's over.
All right.
Everyone,
Okay.
have a great day.
Dude, what a cop out.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, dude. He is cutting corners, but he's doing it in the nicest way possible.
He just came in with a compliment and bailed.
He did not say coffee.
Dude, you know, airline flights, the tickets are up 40% right now.
Are
So
they?
to fly him
Yeah,
out
it
for
sucks.
less than a minute, I think he just ripped us off.
Oh, damn. I had to buy an airplane ticket.
Where are you going now?
I got to go to Phoenix in like 2-3 weeks.
Dude, they're having another Q-a-thon?
Yes.
Or is it a QVC convention?
How aren't
Come on.
what?
It was good.
Clark,
I liked it.
I'd say, okay, good. Are you really looking up tickets right now?
Well, now you got me freaking out.
Okay.
How
I mean,
you know
work's going to
that?
pay for it anyways, right? So,
Well, yeah, but I got to put the money down first. You know what I mean?
yeah,
All
true.
right. Well, hold on. Let me look at what are we doing today?
How you know about airline tickets right now?
Because I stay, you know, I'm a professional comedian now that we're making a ton of money off of this comedy show we do. And I have to stay current with the news. Right? You taught me that.
That is true.
So I gotta
One way
look up
from
the-
Boise to Atlanta cost me $500.
A one way.
Yes, sir.
You're not coming back?
No,
Okay.
that's for the trip back.
You're like, the only thing I'm packing is a noose.
Dude, Phoenix is gonna cost me $400. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Okay. You know what? Wait, I don't even know why I'm stressing out. It's actually my turn because this week I received an email. It's not a female bag though. It's a
The TBR report. Brought to you by POVHard.com.
I like that voice more. Also, you know, we didn't give a shout out to Creepy Clark, who we hired. He came back, we made amends, and he did all the intros during a 5 virtual.
I've read some reviews.
Uh-huh.
All were positive towards Creepy.
I know.
They enjoyed him.
You know, I feel bad. I thought Creepy came in. He had with a bunch of poems. And I'm like, you lazy little bitch. Like, this is what you're going to do? People
How
loved it. though.
lazy? How was that lazy?
And I'm like, dude, all you came with poetry. He's like, I don't want to act. He didn't want to move around.
He constructed a poem for each individual film. He didn't overstay his welcome.
Dude,
He
I
did
don't,
a good job.
I don't know why you're defending him. In one of these, he just laid on the floor. He wasn't even moving his mouth.
Well,
I'm
he
like-
was in a basket.
I'm like,
and
dude.
he was scared, and it was dark, and he was cold.
I'm like, consider the verisimilitude, dude.
That may be my favorite shot we did.
Yeah. Well, I'm still. Again, thank you for speaking for Creepy during that, while he refused to move his mouth.
That's true.
I did like that one though. We had the directional lighting.
Yeah.
It was very
Which I haven't seen any of them still.
It was very Blackwell Ghost. Well, we could watch them. We have them. Actually, maybe we should share that. So
Well, it was Blackwell Ghost.
here's the thing. I'm going to pitch this right now, and it's not going to happen unless somebody emails and says they're interested about it. But I did oh god, I don't know why this is in the TBR, but I had hit up Randy about Discord, and I was like, should we make a channel? And I'm thinking we might be able to do live streams on Discord, right, Randy? You can show video in a group setting there.
I think technically, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, all this weird shit we get, like, we have so many filmmakers on here who, like Isaac, who did People Watching, which you can't really, like, program in a theater. I mean, we could, but it would be weird. I'm like, dude, why don't we just do some live video stuff, and we could maybe even book it with them, and we could just have people join our Discord. So again, I mean, I'm totally dropping this in the middle of the fucking TBR segment, but it's something we should think about. And if you listening right now would be interested, emailing us and let us know, because otherwise it's like we blindly do shit, and it's like, I don't know. Anyway, Thomas Burke has submerged. He got a one-way flight also, like our boy Randy ordered, from Barbados, and he's back in the States now. And he wrote us yesterday. Now, I'm going to read from the email, but I'm going to tell you I disagree with the first statement right off the bat. I'm just going to go through this. Thomas writes, after a couple of flops these past weeks, I feel compelled to come at you guys with the kicker this time, which happens to be Isaac Rodriguez's latest found footage feature, A Town Full of Ghosts. A couple moves into a forgotten ghost town with big plans to restore it, but soon discovers that the town has an evil secret. I was fortunate enough to be brought on as an editor for this film, and I even get killed off somewhere in the movie too. I just have nothing but good things to say about this whole experience. I'm so glad I got to work on the film, and I'm really excited to get the word out there. Kudos to Isaac for always crushing spooky stories, and cheers to hopefully working with many more together in the future. Thanks for checking this out. Love y'all. Now,
What a sweet boy.
he did include a screener, and he signs off all the best, Thomas Burke, sent from his iPhone. I don't know if he actually wrote that or if his phone just included that.
Tommy.
But wow, Tom. So you disappear. You go on a long adventure. You come back talking shit about our segment that we worked so hard on. Now, I think he's saying he has recommended flops because fucking Zombie King, who had an email that got lost in the female bag, and we pulled out, like 100 episodes later, had written that he didn't like one recommendation. And again, the TBR report, I wouldn't even call this a recommendation segment. It's more of an, I'm analyzing movies that Tom brings me.
Mhm.
And so, Tom, you're doing great, dude. Don't listen to fucking Zombie King. We don't. That's why we ignored his email for a year.
This is a man who sent us a picture of his balls.
Yes, his balls, dude.
And we thank him for it.
And
If you would like to send a picture of your testicles, please send that to Overlook
Clark's email.
theaterpodcast.com.
no, Overlook Hour at Gmail. I mean, fuck it, do it. I'll forward it to Clark. I'll just change the subject to like
And I'll-
triple X.
And I'll put it on our Reddit page.
There we
Or
or
Discord.
Discord. Oh, we could have a whole like sub chat.
Is Discord Reddit? Is it the same thing or is
No.
it different?
Reddit's just a like traditional forum. Discord is like a don't ask me. Randy, help us out. You're the IT guy.
It's like Slack.
Oh
Ugh,
my God.
gross.
Is
what-
it really?
Why do we want that?
It's not.
Why do we want to Slack
I mean,
for
if
this show?
you have
dude?
channels and you have people that are invited to a server in which you can all chat with, and yeah, you could put like, make channels for different subjects and things. So I don't know. It looks and feels very much like Slack, but less, less businessy.
right. Well, let me tell you why I'm
I
wrong.
hate it.
Having never used Slack in my life, don't believe Randy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Slack's better than GChat, which Kate, can we use
Hey,
Slack instead of GChat now?
GChat is
Slack costs
nostalgic.
money.
Oh no! There we go. This just in. We cannot.
I know, but like, I could finagle that through my work, but
Oh, don't ask me. Anyway, A Town Full of Ghosts. Isaac Rodriguez, who, if you're a listener of this show or even the TBR report, you should know. I gushed and programmed Deadware at Unnamed Footage Festival 5 on our virtual event we did last Radio Call, both written and directed by Isaac. Also, we had Isaac on the show. I believe when I covered Deadware, I was calling him Isaac, which I will never live down.
You're the only one that keeps bringing it up.
I know.
I don't bring it up because I'm sad for you.
Okay, that's fine. We'll play the little violin. Also, when Isaac was on here, we talked about the big booty dinosaur movie, Jurassic Tale.
Big booty.
Which apparently got picked up by Lionsgate.
Whoa.
And there's a trailer. Did I show you the trailer?
No.
See, this is the kind of stuff we should put in our Discord.
Love it.
Again, write us if you're interested in that. Again, overlookhour@gmail.com.
/ send your balls.
So, yeah, Tom shared with me the new collaboration they did together, A Town Full of Ghosts. I was tempted to try and do a hybrid segment where I mixed in my noir western bit with this, because we're in a ghost town in Texas for a town full of ghosts. And I took notes on this, but our programmer for UF and a longtime listener, Sam, came over last night. And we watched it, and we were just talking about it. And it's interesting. I'll tell you right now, if you're one of the people that like to go on Amazon Prime and look around for a random movie, Town Full of Ghosts is perfect. You'll jump in there, no expectations. You watch it. There's a very interesting location. I'm not sure. I don't know if that town is real or not. I was trying to pry like at 2 a.m. last night with Tom, and I scared him off because I was super curious what the budget for this movie was. If this is a no-budget movie, incredible. It's beautiful. But anyway, the location.
But if they did have a budget, what a piece of shit.
No, because,
is that what you're saying?
No, it's just, I like to think that this is like a micro-budget film because it's inspiring if you can do that with no money. There is a lot of equipment. There's a drone that gets used. There's some practical effects, but you know, much like Hell House LLC, there's not a lot of like need for like in-camera effects. So there's a thing in A Town Full of Ghosts, people die, but a lot of it's off camera. And we've been kind of like talking a lot about slashers lately. Like I had finished Final Girl Support Group. So it's like fresh on my mind. And the need for like
Speed.
like the tableau.
My man.
Or sorry, Randy, I talked over you there. That was good. Or just watching a creative kill isn't like a must for found footage films. And I don't know, this movie made me think about it. I'll start off with my critique of this film, which I don't think I've ever said about any movie. I wish it was longer. We're in the middle of a now.
How long's the film?
An hour.
That's perfect. What are you talking about?
That's what I was saying too.
Don't overstay your welcome.
Here's the thing.
Don't marvel it up.
The movie, the location is terrifying. Like authentically. And I'm making an argument for more time there. Like we hang out there. We have 4 characters. We have my boy from Deadware, who I love.
Ollie
Go ahead.
A.
Ollie A. Yeah, I'm not going to attempt that last name either.
Ollie Oxenfree.
Now he who does he remind me of? John Krasinski. I don't know why.
From Doctor Strange?
Oh my God. Randy, I don't know what to do with you.
We told y'all we're going to spoil Doctor Strange.
Do not infest my TBR report with your spoilers of films we're going to talk about later. Anyway, yes, from Doctor Strange. And I don't know. Isaac's building this cool little cast. And we hang out with them. Okay, first I got to mention the lead in this movie, Mark. He's playing like a terrible vlogger who has purchased a full ghost town. And
what does that mean?
Which part?
He purchased a ghost town?
I mean, here's
a full ghost town.
All
so
the
full of ghosts or full of the town?
The film is called A Town Full of Ghosts, but it is a ghost town in the way of like, it was a boom town that was completely abandoned. So when you go there, there's nobody living there, but there's still buildings.
Boomtown Rats?
I have so many goddamn questions about this town. It is like fully furnished. Like it looks like it was picked up and abandoned, but there's so much valuable shit in there, like a grandfather clock. And you're like, did Isaac bring this in? This is why I want to know the budget.
Where did they shoot this?
In a ghost town in Texas.
In Texas. Okay.
And I remember, I can't remember if it was Tom or Isaac was telling me that it's like 4 hours to get out there. Like it's very like isolated. And in the movie, there's an investor that shows up into town and he complains like, how the fuck are we supposed to make money out here? It took me 4 hours to drive out here, which I feel like is a very valid point. But there's so much shit. Also, there's a beautiful, there's, when you think about making found footage movies, and I get asked this a lot, I think one of the things that's most overlooked is the
theater, the
negotiation with the audience. And I think a found footage audience, we're voyeurs. I talk about this all the time, but we want to see something that we can't anywhere else, right? Like either it's like I don't know, a lewd relationship. If it's a peeping Tom, if somebody's like VHS, we're doing terrible things that we would never do, but we secretly want to watch other people do it. Or if it's a cool location, like in base, like I'm never going to get in a squirrel suit and jump over the Rio Grande. And not the Rio Grande, of a Rio de Janeiro.
Rio Grande.
And I wouldn't do that either.
Well, look, this Texas ghost town could be close to the Rio Grande.
Oh my God.
True.
That's a good point. And in this film, we're in a ghost town, very isolated, that features now, in most backyards in suburbia, how you have those like
wrestling
privacy fences,
sure,
that are wood. They're kind of shitty. Now imagine if you
like David Lynch,
exactly, or like Tim the Toolman Taylor and his lovable neighbor. Yeah. So imagine that fence, right, in the middle of a ghost town, but it's not just a little like fence to like block off a backyard. It's a full-born like maze. There's like a weird maze in the middle of this town,
like Kubrick.
Like, did Isaac post that?
He did, yeah.
Okay, if you go on his Instagram, he put pictures of it up. And I didn't realize that till after we had watched the film. My God, man. This movie needs like another 20 minutes. And I feel very weird saying that. But I feel like I wanted to explore that damn maze and we didn't get enough time in there. What did you think? You look at me like I'm crazy.
No, I agree.
Dude, it's such a cool location. They do interesting world building. Like when we go to the building that our protagonists are sleeping in, we see a single like little cot, like you're at a hotel and they roll it in there. Very uncomfortable. You identify with it immediately. And then there's a sleeping bag on the floor. And he's like, here's where we're staying while we renovate it. And his girlfriend at the time is like, well, I've killed 5 Black Widows in here today. I'm not thrilled. And having hung out in a below ground place where we used to play darts and like pool, they had plenty of Black Widows in the rotting wood there. And it creates a unsafe environment in the mind. And now, having been around a bunch of Black Widows, they've never done anything to me. I mostly sought them out and did terrible things to them. But what are you laughing about?
You just keep saying Black Widows, and I just want to make like a joke.
Go ahead.
I'm not.
Why
I was
not?
thinking it too.
It's already passed.
Don't censor yourself.
I just wanted to keep that for me.
Okay. Well,
also, is there any maze near this maze?
Oh my God, no. Only
corn?
Billy.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy.
So here's the thing. I'm not sure when A Town Full of Ghosts is going to come out, but man.
June 17th.
Also, yeah, sick invite. Thanks. Also, did you say Sam was here?
Yeah, last night.
What the fuck?
He came way past your bedtime. It
What
must have been like 10:15.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's hurtful.
We were hanging out talking about the different waves of black metal and
Wait, 10 o'clock? I think I fell asleep around 10.
yeah. No, honestly, I think he was here till like 1 a.m, but he got here late.
Also, I was in the kitchen. I think someone was knocking at the door, but I didn't bother to answer the door because
That was Sam.
Why don't you ring the doorbell, bitch?
We tell
Again.
people not to because we're like, we're
I
down
know
here.
because you're asleep, so we tell them not to ring the doorbell.
That's fair.
I was in the kitchen. But I didn't
So-
feel like answering the door.
That's fine. This is what I live with for all you listening. I was like, I think Clark just walked upstairs.
Yeah.
while we-
I had my headphones on. I was like, I have an excuse here. I have an alibi.
So here's the thing with Thomas Burke, Robbie Banfinch, Isaac Rodriguez, like these young kids who are doing like what I call the new wave of found footage. They're really leading with that the editor is the auteur theory that I'm like crafting over here for found footage. And man, this movie has so much mixed media in it when it doesn't feel like appropriate totally. Now, this is just for our audience. When there's a moment in the film where they discover, like, this is a full town, this ghost town, and they even have an old-timey theater there. And they find a projector and an 8mm film. Now, when they play the film, it, like, to strengthen my editor is the auteur theory, when you watch what they play on that film, I don't think anything screams more Thomas Burke than the video that shows up. Now, I'm not going to spoil what the video is, but it feels like it was narrated by our boy in Saw. And Clark, you would like it. You know what? I'll send you a link to this movie so you can check it out.
Thanks.
But I mean, I highly recommend this film. I'll when it drops, maybe we could get Isaac back on here. Or, I don't know. We'll bring Tom on to talk about it or something. But I'll definitely let people know. And goddamn, man, for a fucking like indie project, this shit is like, I want to know how they got that location. Like, how have more people not shot there? Also, Sam mentioned he thinks that the Pale Horse was shot there. You remember that movie?
The Pale Door.
The Pale Door, yeah. You remember? And I told Sam,
I remember.
I went, oh, I fucking hated that movie. And he went, really? I kind of liked it.
Why?
I know. And I was like, Sam, oh my God, I feel like you're a doppelganger.
Other than
our
our boy Pat Healy. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, Pat Healy was good. The poster, fantastic. Give me a horror Western. Dude, but man, I did not like that movie.
Wasn't our boy, what's his name in that?
Pat Healy?
Lou Diamond?
Was Lou Diamond Phillips in it? I've been talking about Lou Diamond a lot. No, I don't think he is. I'm looking at IMDb right now. Lou Diamond, yeah.
He's not in it?
No.
Okay. But he will be next week on the Overlook Hour.
Yeah, right. Let's get him.
We could totally get Lou Diamond.
He's probably from here.
I'd love to talk to Lou Diamond.
Dude, Blood In, Blood Out. Fantastic film.
La Bamba, dude.
La Bamba, too. The Pale Door? No bueno. Town Full of Ghosts? Dude, I dug it. And yeah, no, I'll keep people updated on it. Again, when y'all watch it, keep in mind the mixed media aspect, because we're doing a little bit of like Paranormal Activity. Like there's a tease of that. We're doing a lot of directional lighting, which is honestly my favorite thing about found footage. I've come to terms with that. And I don't know. I want to talk about this film. So yeah, I'll keep people updated on it.
How many ghosts?
How many ghosts would I give it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 3.5, 4?
3.5 ghosts?
I think I'll do 3.5. Yeah, because you know, if they add another 20 minutes where we get to live in that town, like here's the thing, because it's the editor's movie, it's punchy, which normally I like. But man, the town is so haunting. You could have had no narration with just a guy with the camera walking through, and it would have fucking worked.
Are you penalizing this film because you wanted it to be longer?
Isn't that weird?
No, that's incorrect. You should not do that.
No, I want more.
No, do you understand that that's a strength to the film?
I disagree.
No, then you're wrong.
You have to watch the film.
No. It's a good thing.
No.
It leaves you wanting more. That's a success. The Costanza.
No, because I feel like the impact would have been stronger.
No.
Yeah, I feel like it's
it
not
never
as good.
is. It never. Randy, would you tell this man as a performer yourself?
I will not. No, I mean, that is generally my preferred way of saying, but I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. Sometimes you do want more.
Dude.
You leave him wanting more.
No, it's the pacing. Like, imagine it's like Michael Bay shot a haunted house movie. It's like, you know, you need to like explore the hallway and kind of let the audience think and like scare themselves, because, you know, that's the scariest thing.
You know, look, you sold me on Michael Bay Haunted House, because when I'm watching haunted house movies, you know, there's not nearly enough car explosions.
Oh my God.
And I think he could take care of that.
And that wraps up the...
This concludes the TBR report.
I have to pee.
Oh, I forgot to mention that there was a shot of whiskey that appeared out of nowhere.
Whiskey in the Jarro?
And there's a dude struggling with alcoholism. And he's just filming it, and it's like, it kind of goes out of frame, and then the camera like moves a little bit. It comes back, and there's no liquor in there. It was so much fun having Terrell in the room and just being like, "You would have done that." He was like, "Fuck no." It's like, "Yeah, you would have." If there was just a random shot in this go town, yeah, he would have taken it. Honestly, I think I might have too.
100%.
It depends on the mood. If we were out there barbecuing, having a good time, definitely.
Barbecuing in a ghost town.
They they are living there, so there is a moment where they have a skillet out and they're frying eggs. Dude, it's great.
What is that Pioneer Town in Southern California? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've never been there.
They have like a concert venue down there.
There's a lot of that
I want to go down there.
out in California.
Yeah, there's several ghost towns.
I think
here.
Reno's got a bunch.
Let's take a ghost town field trip one day.
We could. They do overnight tours that you can like.
All right, Randy, when will you come out when airline tickets aren't $10,000?
Probably, yeah.
We'll explore a
Dude,
ghost town.
he just bought a house. He could afford it. Fucking David Lynch flies out here every week.
No, it's actually the opposite. I can't afford it now because I bought a house.
Oh my
It's true.
God.
He sold all his Bitcoin. He sold his Doge.
Well, hopefully he did because Bitcoin dipped.
I mean, it's back at 30 last time I checked.
I know,
So
Randy. I don't give into fucking FUD, dude.
What was that stock that went from $100 to $1 and then down to 1 cent?
I don't know.
AMC. No, I don't know.
No,
Movie Pass.
It was my CFO mentioned it. I gotta find it. What is it? Luna.
Oh, that's a token.
Yeah, Luna went from $100 to $1.
Yeah.
Then it fell another 99% from $1 to 1 cent, all in a week.
Welcome to crypto. Again, if you get into crypto and you don't know how volatile it is, you got to learn those hard lessons. Just don't kill yourself.
Yeah,
Somebody
and-
did.
Because the lesson is, if an asset falls 99%, it can still fall another 99%.
No. Here's the message board positive advice. You only lose money when you sell.
What are you, the Winklevi now?
Hey, I've ridden this roller coaster before. I've been up $40,000, back down to negative. So I've been there, done that.
Why didn't you sell out at 40?
Oh well, I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, my friend.
I would have sold
Yeah.
out at $40.
Well, here's the thing: you get the little greed monster in you, and you're like, dude, we've come up 40 grand. We could go further.
Did you hear about the Kentucky Derby winner?
Yeah.
80 to 1 long shot.
Oh yeah.
You put in $100 on that bet, you would have won $8 grand.
What is the PC term for people that ride horses in races? We can't call them midgets anymore, right?
Oh my God, they're jockeys, you dick.
What about Muppet? Did you
Muppet is a British slang term
You
for
heard-
like an idiot.
you heard that guy got Ken boned, right? Do you know Ken Bone?
I know Ken. Yes, people have called me Ken Bone since Ken Bone came out into the.
Okay, well, you know how Ken
conscience
Bone
of
was like
America.
everybody loved him, and then they looked at his Twitter and they hated him. Yeah, that jockey had the same problem. He said some shit about how Kamala Harris like used oral as a way to get in the office.
Good for her.
Yeah,
I'm more of a Ken Burns guy.
Okay,
I'm a Ken Jennings guy.
I'm more of a
Nice.
Mr. Burns guy.
Oksana.
That was the only guy I knew.
You only
There
got
we go.
one guy? Okay.
That's right. Oh, screeching halt. Osachi.
Come on, up your yes and game. Also, as being the best at it clearly in this room, do not go back to episode 299 or earlier where I was didn't even understand the concept. Dude, I wish we had recordings post podcast where Clark would just be like, fucking trying to joke with you guys is like jumping hurdles in a triathlon or something. What did you say?
Oh yeah, no, we've gotten much better.
Yeah.
Y'all, let me rephrase. Y'all have gotten much better.
That's true.
Thank
yeah,
you.
and you've gotten worse as you're watching a baseball game.
I'm
You
not
sit in your glasses.
because our fucking internet's terrible.
No, that's why our connection was bad.
No,
He's
it
over
wasn't.
here
No, it wasn't.
streaming
No, it
live
wasn't.
TV.
No, it wasn't. I hadn't done that at that time. Thank you very much.
Were you ordering groceries?
Correct.
Okay. Checking your lotto number?
Oh, look at this little cupcake. It looks like a little Chewbacca.
Are you about to leave?
I have to pee.
Okay. All right. Well, can you throw it to Randy before you do?
Randy Michael,
Yes, sir.
what's been going on this week, son? How many movies you watch?
I
What were
think
you
just
about to
two.
say?
Films.
Okay.
I think I've only seen two, which I watched in the since Friday and then this morning.
Any theatrical releases?
Yes, I saw a movie last night at the Plaza Theater
Oh, we've heard
with
about
our boy
your little
Christian.
plaza. Oh,
Great
Dude.
theater.
Hey, wait, we should make a segment called Round of Applause.
Nice.
and I'm out. I don't hate that.
So I finally got to see a movie that I've been waiting for a while, called Memoria, which is only playing in theaters, no VOD release, and it is not allegedly going to be released on like DVD or Blu-ray. So it's doing a tour of cities. Their original plan was to only be in one city at a time. But I think they've opened that up. So it's playing, I think, like, I don't know, 10 cities across the country right now. Yeah, so it's a movie that played, a bunch of film festivals, and it is directed by, you're going to, this is the name that you guys liked that I said.
Go ahead.
Apichatpong Warasethakul,
Good job.
also known as, he goes by Joe.
Fuck yeah, Uncle Joe.
So, yeah, this is his new movie. I've seen Cemetery of Splendor, which he did maybe like 5-6 years ago. And then Uncle Boon Me, who can recall his past lives.
Mhm.
He is a filmmaker from Thailand who has very immersive, like meditative movies, with generally without any sort of professional actors. But Memoria features Tilda Swinton as the main character. His first time working outside of Thailand. I believe this takes place in Colombia, in Bogota. And yeah, so essentially the plot of this movie really is that it starts and Tilda Swinton is sleeping in her apartment, whatever, and she hears this very loud like boom, like a thud.
Boom me.
And yeah, Uncle Boom Me. And she is awoken, and she doesn't know what the sound is or where it came from.
Stay
And
woke.
so she starts trying to research what it is or what she's hearing, and realizes that nobody hears it except for her. She goes to like a sound engineer to see if they could recreate the sound with just like, stuff that he has in a library, and kind of like fucking with like the bass and stuff like that. And so she's essentially just haunted by this weird sound that only she can hear, and she's kind of just on like a journey to try to find out what it is, and it's kind of driving her crazy. She's not really sleeping. And so she like visits this like archaeology site, like her sister's archaeologist, and it's very like I said about his other movies, it's very deliberately paced, very like beautiful compositions. The camera, I don't believe ever really like moves. They're just, it's on sticks, as Jasadi would say. And yeah, there's, very long shots and very long scenes, but I don't know. I really love his sound design. This is the first movie of his that I've seen in a theater too. And, with the thud that she hears, especially the first time it plays, it's like almost jarring. And then there's a lot of just very immersive, like sounds of just like nature and like rain and stuff. So it's a very transportive experience. If you're into stuff like sort of slow cinema, Tarkovsky type of movies, or if you've seen other movies from him, I think you would really dig it. This is definitely his most accessible, which is still saying a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I loved it, but that was weird. You heard a word sound. Speaking of which, but yeah, there's
dude.
There's a scene at the end that raised this probably a good half star for me. I won't ruin it in case anybody wants to see it who hasn't seen it yet, but
Pussy.
yeah, it's great.
Here's the thing. I don't care about anything you just said past the point of the limited theatrical release. I believe when we went to go watch, can you do the Iron Maiden theme, Clark?
Multiverse of Madness.
When we went to go watch that movie, I believe one of the trailers threatened us with only in theaters. And I remember that emphasis.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Oh, it was Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Bullet Train.
Bullet Train, dude.
Yeah, that looks kind of fun.
Dude, Bullet
I'm
Train
down.
is gonna be sick.
Bullet Train was making me
Also,
fucking cringe.
30 minutes of previews and commercials. Also, when did they start using previews that now because beforehand we had a clear separation
Yeah.
of church and state between commercials and the coming attractions.
Yeah.
Now we have commercials in the middle of the previews. I do not like this. I'm against it, and I hate it. And I am writing my congressman as we speak.
Yeah, it's funny too because when Clark was in there clearly visibly angry at all the mixture of commercial and trailer, I couldn't help but mention we wouldn't even be here by now if we were on our time. We would have shown up 15 minutes to 20 minutes past the start time of the movie and arrived right in time.
I don't like walking into an already dark theater.
I get it. And when it's
Yeah.
full too, you feel like
I get it.
Yeah.
But I truly hate that.
no, I get it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't help but be like, dude, we wouldn't
And in
be
a full
here.
theater.
And it was fucking
It was pretty full.
but yeah, I'm super curious about the like we demand you see this movie now because we're leaving your town in a week. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man, I'm into it because I think I am a product of being too wishy-washy. Where there are movies I really want to
Sure.
watch again, even like we're all going to the World Fair. I really wanted to watch that in the theater, but I didn't. And
Yeah.
it's that like, oh, I'll catch it next week. Where
Yeah, I
feel-
do kind of want to catch Memoria again, so I might try to before it leaves. The one bad experience of watching this movie, because there is so much like cinematic stillness and like silence in the movie, you can hear everything that anyone else is doing in the movie. And there was an
Oh,
older
no.
gentleman about 2 rows in front of me to the right.
farting.
No, he sounded like he probably had COVID and was like coughing the entire time.
Randy, don't
Hey,
project your paranoia on the old
Motherfuckers
man.
can cough without having COVID.
He probably smoked his whole life like Clark and had his lung hanging on by a thread.
Yeah,
My brother.
he didn't sound great. I'll say that much. It sounded, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have been in a movie if I felt the way that I feel like he sounded. But hey,
Do you remember when Don't Breathe came out?
Sure.
And our boy, that's Fede Alvarez, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how an audience in the theater kind of takes for granted what true silence is. And he's like, I'm going to show you what that is in this movie. And I remember thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? But when you drop out like ambient room noise,
yeah.
oh my God. Like if you bring a popcorn fiend to the theater like I do, it gets a little awkward because you hear every goddamn kernel, she
Mhm.
takes salt out of her purse.
During the second one, I choked. Oh, it wasn't during Don't Breathe. It was oh god, AQPP2, I think.
Oh
AQP
shit!
Quiet Place.
Too.
Oh, with John Krasinski from Doctor Strange.
My favorite. Yeah, because I'm guilty of it too. I'd be chewing, and then the sound would drop, and I would stop because I am a fucking prisoner of polite society, and I would be like, "Oh my
Same.
god!"
I don't.
Unlike Randy's grandpa, who was hacking up a lung during the movie.
Does everyone like John Krasinski? I feel like you kind of have to. Like he's just seems
he's
like
fine.
a nice guy.
I kind of resent him.
Why? Because
Because
of his
of
niceness.
because of The Office.
The Office is one of the most successful television shows in the history of the world.
Yeah, but I feel like he's playing the Tom Hanks role when in real life that ain't who he is. Like Tom Hanks, I fully buy the illusion. Like he's probably a terrible person too. But I
Why his son is awesome.
you know what I think it is? with-
father Tom Hanks.
the thing with John, I think Krasinski, he's too tall. He's like slightly too good looking.
As
and
a
too
gentleman
tall.
who's 5'4", everyone's too tall.
Hey, I'm like 2 inches taller than you, so I feel it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't trust him. He needs to lose like 8 inches, and then
He's probably what 6'2".
he
Eyes
looks
of blue?
tall. I don't know. I don't like him with the beard too. Lose the beard. He needs to take like a.
I like the beard.
He's got to go half step effeminate.
He has a beard, and the beard's name is Emily Blunt. Thank you. John Krasinski's gay.
John Krasinski from Doctor Strange.
Doctor
too?
Strange. Yes.
All right, Randy, back to you.
So yeah, Memoria. It's great. Loved it.
Memoria.
No, I would've went Memoria.
Memoria.
Nice.
Da, 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 Plaza.
No.
Go.
Saw another really good movie this morning.
I'll be the judge of that.
It's been a good week. I saw The Innocents, which is on VOD right now. I think it's
Wait,
like
Randy, you saw the what?
Innocents.
Come on. Give me a little Enya.
Me?
God, both of you have terrible instincts. I just
You
want-
were the one singing Enya earlier, so I figured it was for Russell.
No, I was setting it up for you. You're the one
No.
driving this train. You're driving the weekday work train, dude.
I told you I don't really know Enya.
Or how to drive. a
Everyone
train.
knows Enya, dude. If you've been in an elevator, you know Enya.
Can you give us a taste?
Return to innocence. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Totally
Songs of
worthless.
Innocence is a U2 song, I believe. Or an album. Great album. They should put more of their albums straight onto my iPhone. I would very much appreciate it, actually.
Yeah, with like
That's not a bit.
two unshirted men hugging each other.
Did you hear they
Yeah.
did like a secret concert in Ukraine?
Really?
Yeah, in the train station.
In a train station, yeah.
Did you also hear that one time Bono was at a show and he forgot his favorite hat, and so he got his hat on a plane in business class?
That's tight.
Dude.
Yeah.
I just
So yeah,
But it's
The
true.
Innocents on VOD currently. I think it also played a bunch of festivals last year. Heard good things about it. Checked it on VOD this morning after I went on a long walk. Directed by Esco Vogt, who co-wrote The Worst Person in the World,
Oh, I'm out.
which I've also saw recently. It was great. This movie is much different. The plot of this movie: during the bright Nordic summer, a group of children reveal their dark and mysterious powers when the adults aren't looking. So yeah, you got like four kids, all very good actors. And yeah, they're I don't know where this movie takes place, but somewhere
Well, you
that's
said
Nordic.
Nordic.
I-
Yeah.
So is it a Norwegian production based off
I
what you
believe
just
so.
said? Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes place
Um,
in Valhalla.
So yeah, you got these kids hanging out. You find out that they have some mysterious powers, and they start, like you see sometimes kids, taking their powers for granted, sort of in bad ways. There is, I don't generally care for or mind having animal cruelty, but if animal cruelty is a thing you don't want to see, I would probably tune out in like the first 20 minutes of this movie. There's some pretty kind of brutal stuff in this movie. But yeah, I also don't want to say too much because I think it has some pretty cool stuff in it. Some pretty cool reveals, and it's really interesting. It is not very dark, but it's dark and it's unsettling at times. I wonder how much like of the movie that the kids have seen, or like how much of what they're doing in the movie actually like. I wonder how much like cutting around some of the stuff that they're doing took place. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that happen in this movie. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't want, like I said, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it. It just came out on VOD. But yeah, it was really solid. It's good 4 stars for me.
My God, you tap danced around that whole fucking review.
Yeah.
Again, a 2-hour movie.
Oh, it's 2 hours? I was going to watch it.
It's just under 2. It's like 157.
I don't know, man.
Could I break it up in like 30-minute segments?
I mean, technically you could break anything up in 30-minute segments, but I think it's better
Well-
if you watch it in full.
Memoria was 2 hours and 15.
Could have been 3.
Oh my God. Would you have liked it more if it was 3?
No, but I could have hung out for another 40 minutes.
I don't know. I'm not backing off of that. A town full of ghosts. We need to get some Memoria in there. Let us live in the environment.
You're an idiot.
It's like Stalker, man. Imagine if Stalker was cut up super like punchy.
Ugh.
It's like, dude, you got to explore.
Imagine if Stalker was watchable.
Have you watched
Very
it?
watchable.
I watched it with you, jerk off.
Oh, funny how I forget those details.
I had deviled eggs.
I was there too. Yeah. Alamo. It was great. Great screening.
And dude, it was beautiful. It felt like 5 hours, but I'm down for that.
Only thing I remember is I had some sweet ass trout deviled eggs, dude.
So wait, what the fuck? You literally only saw American Honey because it was 3 hours long.
Okay, no, the way that you package that
Yeah, I
is
remember.
bizarre.
We were on break. This
I'm
is how long
saying
ago it
no.
was.
I said for that it was perfect. It worked for what it
No,
was.
but
It
you-
wasn't the only reason why I liked
You
it.
weren't interested in watching the movie until you heard it was 3 hours long. You're
Because
like, man.
because it's interesting. Because like you see it like, oh, you got Sheila Beef running around selling magazines doing coke off assholes. I'm like, all right, this is a 90-minute picture. And I'm like, oh no, it's double that? Okay, something's going on here.
Okay.
And it intrigued me. That's what I'm saying.
But with the innocence, you're like, ooh, there ain't much there.
It's foreign.
Too much
It's a
reading.
different game.
Too much reading.
It's a different game. Although one could make the, American Honey is like a foreign American film.
Well, what about Drive My Car? Didn't you watch that?
Still haven't watched it.
Okay.
Brandon, did you ever watch that?
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan. It's fine.
Hot take, Randy.
Yeah, see, I feel like, yeah.
a nut.
But see, Petite Maman, dude.
Short film.
That's
Hell
70
yeah.
minutes, and it's, chef's kiss.
Here's the thing. I think what we're trying to articulate is that the movie should be as long as it needs to be. I think Townful of Ghosts need to be longer.
But do you understand how difficult it is to get to that point?
Yeah, but there could be production
And
things, too.
that is the failure of many films,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
and
So,
holds several films back.
so what do you think? We should overshoot movies and then cut it down to perfect, or like storyboard it out? to a
I'm saying
T?
all movies should be 22 minutes long.
When a movie's 22 minutes long, I actually have a hard time jumping into it because it's like that's not enough and it's too long.
Okay. Well, remind me to never book Joe Swanberg on this show.
All right, Randy, back to you. Back to Randy in the studio.
That new Joel Petrakis short's about 22 minutes long, and it's great.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, but your fantastic recommendation is what sold me on that.
Thank you.
Also,
Also,
Joel-
a good recommendation is The Innocents. Back to you.
I probably will watch it. And
It's really good. I
Joel,
think you would dig it.
did you see Joel appreciated your review of that short?
Yeah, he also appreciated Clark's joke calling it a medium.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, Randy, anything else?
No, sir, that's it.
Gerard Carmichael is a comedian. He's been a comedian for quite some time. Gerard Carmichael, he kind of caught big several years ago as a young man. He's only 35 years old, but he's lived a fruitful life. Not too long ago, he came out as a homosexual man in his most recent HBO stand-up special, which I have not yet seen. I do like Gerard Carmichael. I've known about him for quite some time. I know he had a show on the National Broadcasting Company, Russell, that's a piece. Sitcom, I believe, called The Gerard Carmichael Show with the great David Allen Greer. Little Dag. Who doesn't like a little Dag? You like David Allen Greer.
The only little I like is Clark.
And the Roxy.
And the Clark Little Roxy.
So, on Friday, which was yesterday, Gerard Carmichael's directorial debut came out called On the Count of Three, a darkly comic feature about two best friends, Val and Kevin, on the last day of their lives. So this is a dark comedy, a black comedy, if you will, not a Medea movie. Get it? Black comedy. Fun. Also starring Christopher Abbott, who everyone here knows. Christopher Abbott. Let's talk about this cat for a minute. Now, Russell, when I was telling you about this film, I told you that he's the guy from
Piercing.
but he's also from Possessor.
Oh, cool.
He's also from other things. Black Bear,
Black Bear Diner.
Vox Lux, the USA Network television series The Sinner, and also America first saw him, really, in Girls. Thank you very much. The home box office television show. Oh, he was in the Most Violent Year. I mean, look, this guy, you've seen him a lot, and I'll tell you, man, anytime this guy shows up, he brings his own little special flair. This is a very interesting actor. He goes for it, and honestly, he is the strongest part of this film for me. They get Carmichael gave him a lot of room, and he took that room and ran with it. As the majority of the film, he is driving in a Jeep, screaming along to the lyrics of "Last Resort" by Papa Roach, which they do a good job of. So essentially, what this film is about is that Christopher Abbott's character tried to kill himself 3 days ago, and he is in an institution. Gerard Carmichael works at some sort of plant, and he is unhappy with his existence, and they are best friends. And so Gerard Carmichael's character goes to Christopher Abbott's character at the institution, and he breaks him out of the institution. And Gerard Carmichael says, and he takes him off to a location, and Christopher Abbott's character says, "Where are we? What's going on?" He's like, "We're going to kill ourselves today. You tried to kill yourself 3 days ago. I hate my fucking life. I want to kill myself too. We're best friends. Let's kill each other." And they're going to shoot each other in the head. And then at the last second, Christopher Abbott bitches out and says, "You know what? Let's do it. Let's have one more day. Let's do it at the end of the day. Let's have one more good day, and then we'll kill ourselves tonight." And Gerard Carmichael says, "Okay." A few minutes later, Gerard Carmichael gets a telephone call from his girlfriend, who is now pregnant. And so now gears are turning in Gerard Carmichael's head, but he has not yet told Christopher Abbott's character. Well, Christopher Abbott, he's got some things on his checklist he needs to do. One of which is go kill Henry Winkler, who plays his childhood psychologist who sexually abused him. And Christopher Abbott's character has been in the system his whole life. He's a troubled young man, and he puts all of his blame on Henry Winkler's character. And then also Gerard Carmichael puts a lot of his angst of the world on his father, played by J.B. Smoove.
Yeah.
So they
Hell
go pay
yeah.
him a visit as well. And then there's also a theme about dirt biking with Lavelle Crawford. Lavelle Crawford runs a dirt bike shop, which is great. If you know anything about Lavelle Crawford, you know that he's never been anywhere near a dirt bike, as he's a solid 400 pounds. I love it. And they're actually in Gerard Carmichael's nice Jeep, yellow Jeep. I'd probably say a 2017 Wrangler, I would venture to say. I'd never owned one, but they look nice. And Christopher Abbott takes the iPhone and starts playing Last Resort by Papa Roach. And he's like, "Dude, this is a good suicide song." He's like, and Gerard Carmichael's like, "Look, I don't listen to Alanis Morissette when I go through a breakup, and on my last day of life, I'm not listening to fucking Papa Roach." But then he steals his car and listens to it on his own. It's kind of fun. I didn't love this. Look, anytime that you're dealing with suicide, and I appreciate the effort that was here. And I think that you have to. They end in as much as a positive note as you possibly can at the end of this, but I just didn't buy it or really care.
Really? It
by
sounds
the
funny.
end of it. It wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be.
Oh, weird.
There were some good things in here, but honestly, it just I don't know. It fell kind of short for me, and tonally, I think that we're dealing a lot here, and we don't really successfully get it off the ground, because we get sort of stuck in this stasis where we're not really committing one way or another. Yeah,
What would you rate it?
it's a 3.
Okay. Weird. Dang, I don't know. You came in with this review and I was like, "Oh man, I can't believe you sold me on this movie." And
It's-
then now I'm like, I feel like you pulled the rug out.
It's all right. It's okay. Good
It's
effort.
all right. It's okay.
It's all
Jesus
right.
loved you.
It's okay.
Randy, you
Okay.
get that reference?
So, do you want me to go into Carpenter now, and then we'll save?
Oh,
the other
yeah.
one?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, when are we going to do Crow?
We can do it after.
So okay.
We'll go Carpenter, Crow, Then I'll do the weepy Taiwan movie, and then I'll do the movie with you at
All
the
right,
end.
we got a long way to go and a short way to get there. Here we go. Wednesday. Our beloved friend, former co-host of this show, the former third chair, Justin Coot. I don't know what's Justin's middle name?
I don't know.
Randy?
Alcatraz.
I don't know
Just-
either, but speaking of Justin Coot, from Vacaville, California, where Papa Roach is from.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. How did we forget that?
Suffocation.
When we first met Justin, he talked about all the time how they used to play garage shows together. It was his proudest humble brag. Even though I've known Justin for a while, he's done much cooler things than know that dude.
Take my money. Coot came over, wanted to watch a little movie. Now, from the original intent of this rendezvous, Mr. Coot was supposed to procure said film, correct?
Yeah, he was going to bring something.
Well, he can't. The only thing he did bring us was his wonderful presence.
Yeah.
So then the responsibility of finding a movie fell on the shoulders of one Russell John, the
It
fisherman,
always does.
who scrambled around like a nervous child looking for their parents in a mall.
Well, it's got to be perfect. I'm trying to curate for the audience who I know personally, which included 3 of my favorite people on the planet. And I'm like, oh boy, it's a lot of pressure.
Well, then we were going to get your computer hooked up. We got to go to Shudder, but we got to go through 19 channels to hook up Shudder on the projector, apparently. But then, ladies and gentlemen, the eyes of one Russell John the Fisherman ventured over to the northeastern corner of our living room, where he found a box full of VHS tapes that was gifted to him as a birthday present from the great Birdman, Charlie.
My favorite NBA player.
And then, Russell, you pulled out what I'm going to say is the secret weapon of that box. The Carpenter, starring Wings Hauser. Now, to my surprise, Wings Hauser, this is a blind spot for one Justin Coot.
Yeah, weird.
So this was an education. This was an educational film that we showed because you and I were fans of the Wings Hauser. You brought me into the Wings Hauser universe, something that I am eternally grateful for. And now we were able to do the same to our dear friend Justin Coot. And I think he's entrenched
Oh yeah,
in the Wings Hauser.
dude. Just wait till he watches Vice Squad.
He watched, let's call it 20 minutes of this, and he wanted to do a Wings Hauser movie
Yeah.
marathon.
Pale Blood, another one of my new favorites.
Have you seen Bullets and Champagne?
No,
We got to watch that.
I've only dipped my toes
Or
into the
Champagne and
wings.
Bullets.
I've only
Okay.
yeah, no. So the film is about a couple who's kind of on the rocks, and the female counterpart in this couple might be having a mental breakdown. We don't know. We kind of show up in the movie, and she's already Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
A little bit.
She's already crazy, and we deal a little bit with them. Also, it turns out they are renovating their house, and they have a large crew of 80 slackers who constantly are taking smoke breaks, and it's very confusing. The foreman of that group just has no authority. They don't listen to him. And you don't know. We have a unreliable narrator here with our female lead. Who was the lead? Is it Leanne Adams over here? I don't know. You had it pulled up. I was wondering if you knew. Anyway, she's, we can't really trust her. So one night when she goes down and she hears sounds of tools working in the wee hours of the night, she goes down and sees a dude with like a bandsaw cutting wood. And she's like, what the hell are you doing here? And it's Wings. And he's like, job ain't done till it's done. And she's like, one, this is shocking because none of the other construction workers have worked at all. And this guy's the lone wolf getting it done. And instantly, we already know what this movie's kind of set up to be. And it's like, okay, is he a ghost? Is he just, are we Fight Club right here? Is she just like breaking into two? And, that's my synopsis for this film. Here's what IMDb wrote about this movie. A mad woman and her cheating husband hire men to fix up their new house. Mysterious carpenter Ed becomes her guardian angel. but he is actually an executed killer whose spirit has returned to finish the dream house he once started. That's a loaded fucking...
Was he ever introduced as Ed?
I don't think so. But if you're familiar with the movie Evil Ed, the cover of the Carpenter has given me it's making me nostalgic for it. So we were talking over this movie. One of the problems when you get like a fucking wild man who played Ramrod beautifully in Vice Squad, Wings Hauser, you kind of expect high energy. Yet this movie, even though it's got all that weird genre shit going on, we spend very little time looking into any of that. It's a lot of the wife walking around town, kind of lethargic, her having a bad relationship with her husband, who's a professor at school, and of course he's hooking up with one of the students. It's super
Who dresses like a street walking whore.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's like she's clearly not into him. Where normally, it's like a student is smitten with their teacher, which is like a huge violation of that relationship, the mentor-student relationship. She's not interested in him at all.
She dressed like a 1980s prostitute.
One of my favorite moments is they're in a hotel. He's buttoning up his shirt because we don't get to see any lewd sex either. Good job. Like, what are we here for? And she goes, "Hey, I'm pregnant." And he's like, "Damn it." And both of them are so uninterested in each other, you wonder why they're even there. And that's most of the movie. But every now and then we get Wings Hauser, who's clearly channeling Beetlejuice in his performance. There's a great scene where he's outside doing 8 different jobs, but it's a reverse cut of the lethargic, psychotic wife talking to Wings, who at this point we don't know if he's just a serial killer who supposedly died. I don't know where that backstory came from. I think at one point a cop shows up and kind of budges in, like he just rudely breaks into like their kitchen and demands some like drink.
Yeah, there was some poorly constructed exposition that we missed somewhere.
We missed it. We were talking, and I mean, we missed that little bit, and now we have no idea who Wings is. And so she's outside talking to him while he's like chopping wood. And then it will cut to her and she'll say something, cuts back to him. Now he's like drilling a hole in something. Now go to her, then we'll cut back to him. Now he's sanding a door. And it's like all this equipment and things that weren't there 3 seconds ago. So we're like, oh, it's fucking Beetlejuice. Or he's like a zany ghost. Now, this movie also has the thing where clearly she's the most attractive woman on this planet, as every man succumbs to her seduction. And when she turns them down, they just straight up are like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to take it. And then he'll come in. And the first violence we see in this movie, our buddy Wings has a electric saw, I believe. And, or it's a skill saw. And he just comes in and he's like, "Can't let you do that, dude," and chops the guy's arm off. And it's
in one like swift motion,
very quick.
There was no build up to it whatsoever, and then it's straight up Monty Python town.
And the dude's standing there. He's straight up the Black Knight. He's just like, "Oh, my arm!" And then Wings grabs the other arm off, and it is the worst example of my arms totally aren't in my shirt,
dude.
It was like, dude, you could.
I mean, it is so clear. He's got his arms folded underneath that giant like 5X t-shirt.
But here's the thing. It's not like self-aware. Because the dude was like, "Ooh,"
oh, yeah,
like,
no.
He's acting. It just looks bad. But it also this is what I wanted.
Yes, but it took forever to get there.
Well, it took a while, and then we get there, and it's like, bam. It's just like, it happens, and then we move on. And then that's the whole movie. If you're on the fence about this one, this is an interesting genre film. Like if you're like a fucking horror fan and you like seeing what different people do, this is essentially a haunted house movie where a serial killer is tied to the house and the only way you can hurt him is by damaging the house. So he's literally a ghost that is doing home repairs at night. The only reason we shouldn't like him is I guess he's killing people, but everybody he kills in this movie is arguably a bad person. So I feel like there could have been a happy medium here where she just lived with them and he does repairs all the time. I mean, it is kind of annoying that he does it at 2 a.m. But otherwise, I mean, I feel like they could have worked it out. There's a hilarious the third act when our lead and her sister figure out how to hurt House. How you hurt House by hurting the house. It's incredible. They both get hammers and they're like hitting the walls with them. I mean, I think I rated this movie a 3 on Letterboxd.
Why?
Just because it's sleepy. And I think if you weren't in a group like we were, I don't know.
You would watch this again.
Not alone.
It's a
It's a 3.5.
3.5.
I'm wrong there.
Yeah,
I
you're wrong.
shouldn't have done 3. I should have done 3.5.
because this is clearly a 5-star film.
Did you rate it?
I don't rate things, dude.
Okay. Oksana?
I haven't yet.
What do you think? You got anything to add? We missed anything here?
Just that it's on Tubi.
Oh,
It is on Tubi?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
All right, there you go. Now you don't even have to have a VCR and a VHS tape.
It is a little sleepy, but boy, is it fun. And
You gotta-
Wings, man. Wings is great.
Again, if we had a Discord, maybe this is a thing we could watch on there.
I think 3.5 is a pretty good.
Dude, honestly, we could rip the VHS tape and like stream it on it. Hey, I'm just saying.
Wings is a cooler Gary Busey.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to argue, but I didn't actually fully comprehend what you said. I
I
thought
know.
you were saying you like Gary Busey
I know
more.
you default to disagreeing.
Well, I mean, I think it makes for a better podcast.
No, you're just a contrarian.
No, because when we turn off the mics, dude, we're just hugging, hanging out all day. There's rainbows coming out of the house. Unicorns frolic through here. They
We're
eat the
just-
daisies that are growing out of the walls.
Just smiling and jerking.
Dude, we only get pure water out of our tap. It's a utopia. Is it my turn now? I can't.
Well, we got for Oksana's birthday.
All right. Yeah, I could do it. You want me to do it?
Do it.
All right. So on Oksana's birthday, on my birthday, we knew what we were doing. We fucking scheduled a film fest on it. So I didn't really have any choice. We were invaded by a rowboat full of Vikings who decided that I needed to celebrate my birthday too. It was fantastic. I passed out on a table and woke up with pictures of me. Somehow my phone took it. Anyway, I wanted to kind of, maybe recreate that for Oksana. She saw this coming a mile away and decided she was going to hold out on what she wanted to do till the day of. And, when you do that, you're kind of left with the last option put on the table. And all I had been pitching was that we fucking finally watch Crow 4 the way it was meant to be. I hadn't seen the film in probably 15 years or since we went to fucking Comic-Con when they were releasing it. And
But Oksana, you had seen the film, correct?
Yeah, I feel like I watched it with him.
I don't think so. I think it was.
But I mean, to be fair, I also didn't remember most of this movie. I remembered like 2 scenes.
Wait,
Hey.
I'm sorry. Did you say to be fair? Thank you.
Hey, to be fair,
New segment.
I apparently didn't remember most of the movie either. And I feel like I did a great job of pitching this bitch. I remembered a couple things. I remembered Eddie Furlong, out of shape Eddie. I remembered Boreanaz playing a sadistic possessed man.
Now you say out of shape Eddie. He looked okay.
I know.
He had a double chin.
He
had a little bit of a double chin.
He was LA fat.
He was LA fat.
That, and I did oversell that. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a plump Eddie,
Dude, I was expecting Jonah Hill, Eddie Furlong.
yeah,
here.
go watch Night of the Demons, the remake.
Shout out to Jonah Hill.
We got a plump Eddie in there. This one was LA fat Eddie. Definitely should not be playing a superhero who wears
LA fatty.
we have a Tara Reid in this movie. These are the things I remembered. I remember
Tara
Danny
Reid
Trejo.
looked pretty good.
She did. This was probably her plateau.
She still can't act.
She still can act. That I agree.
You know what? I think Tara Reid's a star.
Now here's the thing I did forget.
A Sloane from Entourage,
Sloane, yes. How could I have forgotten?
who is Persian and plays Native American.
Well, okay. You know what? Let's do this. IMDb synopsis. On his way to becoming an immortal demon, a gang leader orchestrates the murder of an ex-con and his girlfriend. That's a
IMDb is killing it with the synopsis.
dude. That's a good pitch. IMDb, you fucking rule. Here's the thing I forgot: the style of the goddamn film. We are doing some low-hanging fruit Tarantino copying here. And I'm talking where we get characters introduced on screen, freeze frame, and then we get like the rebel. Except here's the thing. We're doing the 4 Horsemen. And the 4 Horsemen, 2 of the dudes I don't know. One of them's David Boreanaz. He plays Death.
Oh, we'll get to him.
And my favorite is Famine, played by legendary MMA fighter Tito Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz. Dude.
How did I fucking forget he was in this movie?
dude?
And it's
Let me tell you something. He tried.
He wasn't bad. He's just Tito Ortiz. So
Yeah.
he's also got weird proportions.
Yeah.
He's a weird one to look at.
Yeah.
This film is what you want. Like when we throw on a movie like The Carpenter, I always say the way to make a movie that's disconnected and entertaining is just keep the new ideas coming. It's got to be fresh, because if it gets stale, then we're going to tune out. Hey, The Crow 4 did it. It's constantly evolving in the weirdest fucking ways. And I mean, probably the cringiest part of this movie is just the beginning where they're introing everybody. So the Four Horsemen, you know, they're the riders of death. They ride horses. So in this movie, it's like, well, maybe we don't do horses. Maybe they all have like muscle cars and we paint famine on the side of it.
And we only see the muscle cars for one scene.
Yeah, they were rented for a day.
I don't think they drive them.
Dude.
And if they do, they're doing donuts in the desert.
And, you know, fucking Eddie. God, when he dons the makeup, it is like, how did they get on screen? It looks so bad. It looks like you just learned about ICP and you had to make it to the gathering. So you stop by a Walgreens and you're like, hey, this is the best I could do. Except it's The Crow. Dude, it's...
He's also a very interesting actor. Because in this, he makes me uncomfortable.
He's weird.
There's something unsettling about him. It's now his character is a loose cannon,
Mm-hmm.
and that is permeated throughout the whole story. Where I'm like, I don't know what this dude is gonna do now.
Yeah, and he's got the air. Like, you know, one of the things I loved about the Batman was when Batman was Bruce Wayne out of the costume, he felt...
Wait, what?
He felt incredibly vulnerable. And Eddie feels incredibly vulnerable this whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yet he's talking shit. Also, there's like a plot in this film I forgot about that's almost like what is the Polanski film? The Chinatown, where it's kind of got this like there's a small town corporate feud between like the left and the right side of the road. And I'm not talking about politics. I mean, literally like the other side of the road. There's like a plant that's mining toxic waste or something. We got a little bit of a Tim Burton takeover here where it's like the sets are all crazy. We have Raven. Also, it's almost like they don't know it's The Crow. Everything in here is Raven. There's like Raven.
So many Raven
It
jokes.
feels like, I was talking to Terrell about this movie, it feels like they repurposed something and just like made it fit into a Crow movie.
I don't know. I mean, The Crow is such a part of it though. Like, unless they had another weird black leather trench coat, unless they were going to cast Sting for this movie, I don't understand what it could have been other than a Crow film.
But could your average Joe call the difference between a crow and a raven? I don't know if I could.
I don't
call
know.
the
Well,
difference
I think
between a crow and a raven.
ravens are a little bit bigger,
Are
right?
they?
Honestly, I don't know. But I just mean like literally, like they called it Raven Con or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, and then they had a bunch of. He literally says, "Quote the Raven nevermore, fucker."
He does.
Like that's a line in the movie.
It is. And ample opportunity for a cameo appearance from WWE's Raven,
dude,
and we got nothing.
honestly, Sting, if they're gonna reboot The Crow and they did,
Make Sting.
yeah, dude, I would be
Dude, how old is Sting
completely
now?
I don't, probably pretty old.
70.
Oksana, do you want to do me a favor? Can you look up like quotes from this movie on IMDb? I'm sure we could pull some interesting stuff out of there. Anyway, there was one person who I kept saying did an incredible job in this film, and the audience started turning on me. I think they started thinking I was lying when I mentioned the one and only Dennis Hopper would make an appearance. Now, we go to a church, the Satanic Church of Partying or something like literally, like if they called it the Satanic Church of Partying, that could be in the script and I would believe you.
Yeah.
That's the kind of writing we're dealing with. And I just got to ask, Clark, did Dennis Hopper disappoint?
I am still wildly confused as to what we watched concerning Dennis Hopper. Randy, I know you love a D Hop, but I'm gonna tell you, this is like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Dennis Hopper in Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we kind of get that, except he's saying "Daddy-o" a lot.
Well, yeah, he got
And-
like a hip hop.
Dude, he's doing
leaning,
a
yeah.
total hip hop thing. I don't know what's happening.
You know what it is? It's like Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet, except they tried to like update it. Like instead of like PBR, what's the line? God, I don't even remember. It's been a minute.
Pabst Blue
There we go.
Ribbon, Heineken. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, in this movie, he's like, "Kiss the book, bitch."
Yeah.
Again, referring to the Bible and saying that to Tara Reid. Where if you're not into that, don't bother watching The Crow, because this movie, dude. There's a moment where, if you're a fan of the Crow lore, if you kill if his familiar, the Crow, that's how you hurt. What's his name? Draven. What the fuck is the Crow's original? Who cares?
Jimmy Cuervo?
In this movie, his name is Jimmy Cuervo.
Jimmy Cuervo.
Played by Eddie Furlong. No, but the original Crow, the one that people like. Anyway, so his raven gets fucking killed. And the only way to bring it back is we get, some authentic Native Americans to do a resurrect the bird dance around him. Except this authentic Native American is just a shirtless Danny Trejo.
In the most unflattering Dude, that's a gif. I've never wanted a gif more.
We got a low
than
camera angle looking up at this man in slow motion, jiggling around a dead bird. It's dude. Hey, Jake, our buddy over at the programming for the Alamo currently. Can we get a Crow for Terror Tuesday?
Oh,
Let's shoot him an email.
100%.
There's some movies that are meant for Discord, and there are other movies that we just got to get some fucking normies off the street and just give them a dose of Dennis Hopper like they never had before.
All right, well, I feel like you're closing the book on the satanic book on the Crow 4, and we can't do that without talking about Boreanaz.
Oh, yeah.
Boreanaz.
It's his movie. And not in a good way.
Man. All right, so we won't even talk about him in the first two acts because it is his movie. Yes, he breaks out of prison. Yes, it's confusing how all that happens.
It's kind of boring too,
it's
though.
boring and confusing. There are some terrible, terrible cuts here. But boy, when the third act happens and he becomes, a god at this point, essentially.
Satan.
He becomes Satan. Actually, on the International Movie Database website, he is listed as Satan. He has three credits.
Oh, he does.
One of which is Satan. Randy, when he turns into Satan, he 100% starts doing a Jim Carrey impersonation, and it is confusing, startling, unsettling, and almost entertaining.
So you're right. He does have 3 credits: Luke, Crash, Death, and Satan. Now, Death is the one that is kind of boring. He's doing that like, I'm a supervillain and I'm sadistic. I don't care. I'll kill anybody because I have no soul or morality compass. It's very boring. But Luke, Crash, there's a flashback where him and Eddie Furlong were in the clink together.
Oh my God.
And it's almost like they're like picking up garbage on the highway, except they're both sitting down taking a break, and their jumpers are like halfway down, and they're having like a bro talk. They look so unconvincing as friends,
dude.
Like, it doesn't even look like, we're the outcast and PE and we're hanging out, or it's detention and the
in
weird
that
group
particular scene, Eddie Furlong's looks like he's coming off a 2-week bender
of heroin,
dude.
He looks fucking terrible. It's so weird. So, shout out to the flashback. But you nailed it. I couldn't articulate on the past weeks what David Boreanaz was doing. You're right. He's Jim Carrey in The Mask.
He's Jim Carrey.
It's fucking terrible.
It is wild.
I can't recommend this movie enough. Again, don't watch it alone. You get gems like Tito Ortiz is bringing a dead Eddie Furlong to the dump, and they find a refrigerator, and he's like, "Whoa, man, that's the fridge my mom used to lock me in." And that's just a line that they drop,
dude.
Nobody asked for it. He offers that up, and then they're like, "Okay," and they put him in there, and then they throw it in the
with that other actor who I still don't know what he was trying to accomplish.
Was that the one at the Black Moth Bar?
Yes.
Who again? So, what do you think the gimmick at the Black Moth Bar is? Well, it's lit by a bunch of bug zappers who, it's ambiance, but it's also utility, because for some reason there are black moths all over the bar.
It's pretty good.
And this guy is so fucking crazy. He's so goddamn crazy. He eats one of them. Can you believe that? He ate a black moth. This movie fucking rules. Were you able to find any quotes on there?
There's a ton on IMDb.
All right, give us 2 of your favorite.
Well,
All right, pick 2 at random.
someone owes me 2 lifetimes and a set of perfect blue eyes.
Whoa.
There is a theme here where Tara Reid is going to steal the Entourage girl's eyes so that she can now become a mystic, right? Or like a shaman or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things you forget in this movie. All right, give us another one.
He'll be your homie now and forevermore.
Oh, that's Dennis Hopper for you. I believe that was wedding vows he was saying right there.
Oh, dude.
All right, one more. I'm addicted. I'm like Eddie Furlong.
So God gave trash like you wings. He never gave me shit, fucker.
Oh,
Eddie.
one of the worst back tattoos of wings I've ever seen in my life in this movie too.
Oh my God. Done in permanent marker.
It's like they had a buy 2 get 1 free tattoo sale.
I mean, honestly, they made this movie for $14. They just
Except-
paid the actors.
No, there's no way. There's so much. I feel like they built every goddamn set in this movie.
No, that set those sets were used in trauma films previously.
They went to that desert town that
Yeah,
they
the
nuked.
Toxic Adventure goes west.
God damn, dude. Perfect film. I loved it. I can't speak for our whole audience, because I think some people were like, what the fuck are we doing? But it wasn't for them. What are you gonna do?
I think it played pretty well.
It was fantastic. Honestly, if we could get Jake to do this on a Terror Tuesday, I would 100% attend. And even host if he let me. I don't know if he will after that last stinker I did though.
All right. Do you want to do the thing and then we'll close
Yeah,
with the
really
thing?
quick. So right before actually it held up the show, as we're fucking cool. So we make things late. The podcast waits for us.
There's nothing cool about lateness.
Okay, shut up, Randy. If I could turn off your damn mic, I would have. And again, honestly, I apologize. I asked Oksana, what's the runtime on this movie? She was like 80 minutes. They're like, okay, cool.
I said 88.
So then when 11 o'clock rolled around, I went, wait, how's this right? There's still 14 minutes. She's like, maybe I didn't check. I'm like, that could be a thing. So it was an hour and 40 minutes long.
Okay, guys, you have to know. Default.
Yeah.
Me and Randy know you're not going to be on time.
No.
True.
Whoa.
Now we have to play the game, but we know.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys, when you come to Thanksgiving dinner, you know what to expect.
Indeed.
So we went with the hot movie right now, The Sadness. We got a Taiwanese film that just
Can I play with sadness?
that just dropped on Shudder 2 days ago. Now I have this movie's wildfire. Everybody's watching it and they're loving it, and I'll tell you, it's fantastic. Watch it.
What are you, Trump?
I loved it. It's damn it, I can't do a good Trump. I was gonna say it's perfect. I don't know. I can't do it. Can you give me?
No, I can't do it.
I can't do it either. Okay.
Randy can
I
actually
can't
do
do
the
it.
best Trump. Randy, you can actually do a pretty decent Trump.
I know you said that before, and I believe that I have done it, but I don't know where it came from or how to do it again.
Can
Just-
you do it, please? Just close your eyes
Just give us
and
a little. Just
tell me how good The Sadness is, dude.
I saw The Sadness. It was great. Great film. Fantastic film. Best horror film I've ever seen. I don't
Hey,
know.
that's not bad.
better than what I wanted.
Dude, that's not bad.
Good
In
job.
fact, you know what? Dude,
I appreciate the commitment, because if we made Oksana do it, we'd still be waiting.
I read quotes.
she did. It was a little like pulling teeth, but you did it.
There was also a goof.
I mean, you couldn't have failed with quotes from The Crow 4. The quotes 4. Okay, so The Sadness. I have a very different relationship with this film, as I am good friends with special effects master Bill Spataro,
Billy.
who has been fucking trying to hunt down this film for a year now. When people get into Hollywood and they're actually making horror movies, there's a trend to stop watching them. Bill is like Eddie Furlong in Heroin. He just needs them. He's constantly watching horror movies. And, hanging out with a dude like Bill makes me feel a little guilty because I'm like, fuck, I do a podcast. I feel like I should be watching this many films. He's been fucking talking about this movie for a year. So when I heard that people were like, oh, dude, did you hear about The Sadness? I'm like, wait, it's out? Talked to Bill. He said, yeah, dude, Shudder got it. And he was pissed because he had just ordered a Blu-ray from like the UK because he was so dying to watch this fucking movie. I'll tell you, even with it being hyped for a fucking year, having the trailer sent to me 18 different times by Bill, it's fucking good, man. It's just good. And what I mean is there's gore, there's a budget here. And we're doing like some hard R shit. Again, on first glance, it looks like a zombie film. Zombie films usually end up taking a very heavy, like social commentary kind of narrative. This one opens up with my two favorite things, COVID and politics. And it's like, my gut reaction was like, fuck, why? Like, I don't want to do this. And then I'm like, well, it is interesting because it felt very like America. Like there's a new disease that people don't believe is deadly, and it's an election year. So people are like, it's literally like, I'm like, this is too close to home. I don't want to deal with this shit. And then it's like, well, we're in Taiwan. That's a little weird, like government dissent, right? Because, Republic of China and everything. And the movie, it clearly, now, this is my take. This isn't a spoiler. But I honestly think the social message of this movie is that, we're the problem. And it's kind of about, like, we're doing kind of a rage thing here where people get infected. And it's not like they die and you become a zombie, but you just change at some point. And my theory is that it isn't an illness, or it is. I think it's one of society. And I think it's just people splitting, and then we become like trolls. And here's the thing. I think there's an argument to be made that this movie is either taking place within like a video game or the internet. And it's kind of like a conduit where the people who are murdering each other are kind of in a state of like anonymity. Or it's like, there's a moment in this film that feels straight up like Grand Theft Auto, where we're kind of on the street and we're just looking at carnage everywhere. And here's the thing. They got the fucking budget to back it up. Beautifully shot. We get a camera that isn't hurrying or like taking too long. So we get to relate to characters. We get to look at beautifully framed Taiwan. Like, hey man, we're going all over town and it's beautiful. And we also get the fun zombie thing of like every turn, there's like a new encounter. Every scene is in like a new location. New things are evolving. Dude, I love this movie. Am I crazy, Oksana?
No. Yeah, I don't know what else to add to it. I mean, it's just like it's over the top with its blood a lot of times and like carnage and gore and stuff, but it doesn't. It takes itself seriously. It doesn't make a joke out of it.
No, and I think the best way to articulate that is like it's Tarantino blood spurts at time, but there's no winking to the camera.
Winky.
And
Whoops.
It's more of like, I took it as like a visual metaphor for we're all dirty here. Like there's a scene on a I want to call it BART, which is Bay Area Rapid Transit, but I know not everybody's from the Bay Area. So it's like the subway. They're on a train.
What's the Atlanta version? Randy, don't have him.
I have no idea.
We've talked about it multiple times on this show.
Was it taking a pee break?
Randy, tell him.
Marta.
Oh, Marta. Bart's cousin. I forgot.
What does MARTA stand for, Russell?
Many Americans run through all day. Damn it.
No.
I forgot how to spell it.
Marta.
Oh, Marta. I don't know. Do you want me to try again?
Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid
Oh,
Transit
those are words I
Authority.
don't understand. Anyway, on the train, there's they point out what is normally annoying in film, that everybody's on their phone and that people aren't connecting. So a dude who's kind of in the wrong, I'll say, in this situation, takes the opportunity to talk to a girl who's reading a book. And, we get a little bit of social commentary here. The great thing is that this movie is full of nuance, and nobody's completely right at any time, even our protagonist. And that scene devolves into kind of like early 2000s gore, where it's like, holy fuck, this is what people came to see, is like a lot of blood. Kind of what you were saying Hostel didn't deliver on.
Yeah.
We do it here. It is gross and like, it's very like adult. There's a lot of we don't see a lot of like sexual violence in the movie, but they talk about it a lot.
No titties.
Also, I do want to give a shout out to the Cuphead animation. When you guys watch it, it's a little striking because you're like, if the world's collapsing right now, who is ready with that cartoon? Again, I'll leave it at that.
Oh, did you know they made a Cuphead TV show?
I did. I haven't watched it.
I watched one episode. It's for children.
Oh, okay. I like the art style.
It looks great.
How long is it?
Oh, like 15 minutes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Or so.
So
If that.
again, me and Oksana are the only ones who have seen it so far. If either of you end up watching it, I'd like to talk about it more later on.
People are reaching out to me personally saying
That's not bad. That's pretty good. I like Randy's more though. I think if you had more commitment or practice, you'd be better though.
What are you talking about?
That was a little Trump there, wasn't it?
No,
That was Trump.
I was not doing Trump at all.
It was though.
Oh my god!
But that was
It came across.
I wasn't
oh
trying to
my
do Trump.
God.
I'm
Phil,
doing.
did you
You're
know that
infected, dude.
This film was funded
I'm doing Clark.
with a mixture of cryptocurrency and revenue from producers' cam girl business.
Dude,
hell yeah.
holy shit! Well, first, congratulations on being a producer for the first time in the show's history.
So the cartoon played at the beginning was made by the director
Dude,
in 2015.
give this guy a fucking Oscar. And give him something better, an award that means something. We got like an Internet Choice Award or something, voted best by Twitter. Dude, I love it. And I think, I use Twitter as a joke, but I think that's the idea here, is that, we always hear that like 1% of Twitter is the people posting. And there are 99% of Clarks out there who are just kind of like, agnostic Twitter users just kind of watching. And I don't know. I love this film. Watch it. If either of you watch it, we can talk about it then.
You don't have to post on Twitter to enjoy it.
It's
yeah, but
also,
I think
Welcome to Twitter 2.0 with our Lord and Savior Elon Musk.
there we go.
it is available on Blu-ray from Ravens.
Oh, really? Do they got a good cover?
I mean, Crow's banner.
Damn. Good job. I'd pat you on the back if you went across the table.
Did you guys know that we have a pizza place near here called Jesus Crust?
Are you looking at pizza right now while we're recording?
Randy, how much do you hate that as a recovering Christian?
It's fine with me.
Okay.
I like the name.
It's got a slipcover, and both covers look
All right. Can you do me a favor and order that right now? Again, if you watch these on YouTube, you can see everything she does, the mouse moving around.
Do you prefer slip covers or slip nuts?
Can I get both?
Mm-mm.
Am I in high school? Because I would have said Slipknot.
Oh, we know.
Dude, that's why we were a match made in heaven.
I know.
I used to have like 3 Slipknot shirts, dude.
All right, dude. Do we still want to cover?
Can
Yes.
I play with
We're going a
madness?
little long here.
I don't know.
I mean, it's the biggest movie in the world, and we saw it. Let's just keep it short. Sam Raimi does a great job. The third act on this thing was incredible. It's a straight up horror film in Act 3.
Yeah, I haven't watched the last 32 Marvel movies, and when this one kicked off, we had our lead characters jumping through a portal, landing on a pillar, floating in between time and space, and Clark used to do a bit all the time when I would talk about fantasy movies where you're like, I hate anything with a realm in it.
Yeah.
I felt like I was meeting you there.
Yeah.
And the movie, one of the things I hate about like fantasy, like starting like Lord of the Rings has created a lot of tropes that everybody uses, but when you jump into like The Witcher, you have to get recalibrated to all of their lore. And I feel like it's so selfish to ask a new casual fan to be like, all right, now remember who the queen is, remember who their son is, because they died 100 years ago and a dragon was there. Also, that dragon was created by magic from that wizard. Are you taking notes? And this movie was like that. And I'm like, what are we doing? Wait, is that girl named America? What have I missed? Like, I felt so fucking confused.
Yeah.
Except I knew exactly what we were doing. And I'm like, here's a little inside scoop. I didn't like the first Doctor Strange. I thought it was a 3-star for me.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to. Mads Mikkelsen, I like Doctor Strange, the character. I only came to this movie for Sam Raimi. And dude, I dug it.
With a little Bruce Campbell sprinkle.
Bruce Campbell, man. Now, I heard this shit. that people were like, you don't have to stay for the second end credit.
Oh yeah,
You can miss it. And honestly, that was one of my favorite parts of this movie.
It was adorable.
Watching Bruce Campbell do physical comedy, made me so happy.
He's straight up Buster Keaton in this,
Dude, it made me incredibly happy. And I love the fact that Sam Raimi has the heft to just, like, that's not Marvel. That's him.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, that's my friend, and this is our moment, and I don't care.
And people are going to love it.
Well, also, I don't know. Now, I'm not in the esoteric discussions of Marvel and what they're going to do. But Ash versus Marvel Zombies was a thing. So I don't know if there's talk about that or if that's already been ruled out. But as somebody who, just watched this movie for Sam Raimi, I would totally tune in for that. And we were teasing it a bunch, but I know one of the characters in Marvel Zombies was a Reed Richards, who made an appearance in this film by a John Krasinski. And that little bit, like those moments where Scarlet Witch is fucking people up, dude, I loved it.
It was great.
Give me that movie. Let's make her the protagonist.
She was great.
Well, here's what we do with the metaverse. Let's go to one of the verses that nobody likes and just let her kill everybody.
Yeah.
I could hang with that.
Look, there were parts of this that made my stomach turn, and there was one terrible part in the movie where I just got up and got a hot dog in the middle of the movie.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, we don't.
Dude, it was hilarious. So, okay, no, let's touch on it because I'm so removed. So we had the young Latina girl who's in honestly, I think it's rad. The jean jacket with like the American flag on it.
Yeah.
And her name is America.
Is that supposed to be like a Captain America?
I have no idea.
That was like the British Captain America lady.
Oh, in the other, the Multiverse, yeah.
No, her jacket. Like
no, her name's America.
America Chavez.
If my name was America, I'd be wearing that jacket too, and people would call me a Trump supporter and fucking hate me. So.
America, Ferrara.
And then I'd be hanging out with Randy, and they're like, "Oh, that guy does a mean impersonation of Trump." Yeah, but so America. So this is the thing Terrell told me. The internet's been going crazy because America, who has one, I don't know, spell or mutant ability to travel the metaverse at will. They're like, what are you doing? You gave the Latino girl an ability to break through any border? Like, what kind of message are we doing here? Also, so we get a little flashback with her, and it turns out she has two mothers who seem like they just walked off of fucking Deep Space Nine or something. And she gets stung by a bee. And the thing is, she can't control her ability, so a portal opens up.
Because she gets scared.
And whenever she's scared, a portal opens up. And her mom's got sucked in it. And there's so much to unpack here, especially when you haven't watched the last 40 Marvel movies. And I just looked at Clark, and we were both laughing. And he just got up and left. And I remember thinking, oh, wow, I hope you don't come back. That would have been
There was still an hour left in the movie, at least.
And if you're a fan of the show, you know that every time Clark leaves a movie we're watching, it gets good. And he left. And the one thing you missed, man, Scarlet Witch, she does, we're not going to get in the minutia of this, but she steals a spell out of the Darkhold, which is the lame cousin of the Necronomicon. And she uses it to dreamwalk, which is the only way you can get into another metaverse. God, I am embarrassed for even saying this shit. So Scarlet Witch is possessing herself in another reality where her kids are still alive. I didn't watch WandaVision. I think I did 3 episodes. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I'm not committed to the lore. So we get a little vignette of her haunting herself in a house. And it's like a poltergeist is there. And I fucking loved it. One of the things Marvel can do is they mix up tone and pacing beautifully. And when we wrap this up, the third act, I think everybody's favorite part of this thing is the reveal that when Doctor Strange breaks his own morality rule and is going to dreamwalk to get at Scarlet Witch, the only version of him in that reality is dead. They buried him in the fucking roof of a building, and they're like, dude, you can't dreamwalk, you're dead. And he said, who said I can't? And we get some necromancy.
Well, he said, yeah, who says that I have to be alive?
Yeah,
and then we get Zombie Strange.
Here's the thing. I didn't know what to expect. I know a lot of people complain because in the trailer they show this. But
They barely do, and it's very you don't really put two and two together because they show him like being assembled with the little ghosts.
Okay, the dude. So he didn't have a mantle. He gets a cape of demons.
Dude,
I fucking loved it.
it was honestly one of my favorite things I've seen in a theater this
Well,
year.
they
I
were-
had so much fun with that.
They channeled Drag Me to Hell, like that tone.
Yeah.
But then we had Cumberbatch doing a Bruce Campbell impersonation.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I make a movie out of that.
It was so good.
I genuinely just loved it.
That third act was strong.
Honestly, the visuals too.
So good.
Like Doctor Strange with like a bunch of extra arms.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Dude, that demon cape.
I'm so glad that we gummed up and saw this in a recliner theater.
Oh man.
Because it was getting a little intense there at times.
Randy, it's fun. Honestly. I recommend it. You can have fun with it for sure.
Also, we've been talking a lot. I lamented about Isaac needing to extend the length of his movie. Then Randy watched 2 movies that are over 2 hours long. This is a short film for Marvel, clocking in at 2 hours and 5 minutes.
I think it was good. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, hey man, I loved it. Also, stay for the fucking second end credit.
The first one is horrendous.
The first one, I didn't even understand it.
Charlize Theron shows up.
Yeah, but who the hell is she supposed to be?
I don't know, but she does not look good.
And here's the thing. I'm not some fucking phony fan. I have comic books that I'm trying to get rid of. I have mounds of them. My dad, I talked to him last week. He's like, me and you, we got to get these comics graded. He has fucking boxes of them. I grew up with this shit. And when I saw her come through a fucking portal, I'm like, who's this bitch? What are we doing? I don't know. I feel lost. I would totally see a Marvel Zombies movie though.
Oh yeah. Dude, it was great.
All right. I think that's it.
All right.
Look what happens. We skip an episode and then we come back and we have a 4-hour long one.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Have fun doing
Randy,
it.
what
so
you got
whatever.
going on today, son?
I'm going to head out shortly after this to go have dinner.
In a movie?
No. But I do want to see Memoria again, and I cannot get myself
hear you.
excited to actually.
I don't know how I did that. Okay, Randy, you're back.
No movie, just dinner.
Wait, what the hell? Okay, so
What did you do?
last week I mentioned that we have a monitor, and I figured out how to make it just Randy, so he's like at the table with us. Well, look at the bottom of the screen now. There's like a play bar. Look on my screen. I paused him, like he was like on fucking a streaming service. I
But he
paused
just
his
went
video.
mute. Because I could still see him on mine. He just didn't have any.
No. Okay, here, let me do it again. So look up there.
Yeah.
I just paused him.
I know, but what I'm saying is that I can still see him moving here, but the audio was cut.
That's because the audio is going through my computer.
Yeah. So don't do that.
I
dick.
didn't mean to, Randy. I'm sorry. It's like I'm in Click, my favorite movie, and I hit the pause button on you.
Great film.
All right. We got anything else before we cut loose? All right. Oksana, take us home. We'll see you Thursday.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Overlook Hour. And if you would like to hear more, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever your podcatcher of choice is. And while you're there, go ahead and give us a rating and or a review, which is a very easy way for you to support this show that we bring to you every week for years now, free of charge. And as always, you can find us on YouTube at The Overlook Theater, Instagram at The Overlook Theater, Facebook at The Overlook Hour, and Twitter at The Overlook Hour. Last but not least, you can send us your emails and tell us how much you like or dislike the show at overlookhour@gmail.com. And if you're nice, maybe we'll read them on the show. I've been your engineer, Randy Stat. Please join me along with Clark, Russell, and Oksana again next time. Bye.